Interested in doing business with the government?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll jump right in and get started. Doing business with the government. And this is where the all-day session just gets crazy because we really dive into this. So one of the things about, doing business, with the federal government is that you need to know what your NAICS codes are. You need to know what they are, and you need to know what the size limits are for each of the codes. And what do I mean by size limit? If I have code 1234556, I'm going to have either a revenue-based code or an employee-based code. It could say 7 million for that particular code. What does that 7 million mean, Monica? It means that my average sales over either a 3-year period or a 5-year period does not exceed 7 million. If it doesn't, that means I'm small under that code. So federal procurement is NAICS code driven. You must know your codes. You must know what your size limitations are under each of your codes. Because when you find an opportunity to bid on, and we go through this extensively in the all-day classes, you need to know what you can bid on and what you can't. So if you find a janitorial contract, and it says that the NAICS code is going to be 123456, and the size standard for that code is 2 million. You run a 3-year average or a 5-year average and you exceed 2 million. That means you're not small. That means you cannot bid. This is why the codes are so important. And on a couple of slides, I've given you the link to all of the codes. You need to look at that and make sure you take all of those codes and understand what your size limitations are, because when you're looking to bid on contracts, that's when they come in handy. All right. Where do you put all of these codes that you find so that the whole world knows, and your potential customers that are out there know that, 1, that you exist, and 2, that these are the services and or products that you provide? That's your sam.gov. You must have a sam.gov profile in order to do business with the federal government. No exceptions. Even large business has a SAM profile. If you want to receive federal dollars, you must create a profile in sam.gov. So that's where your NAICS codes are placed. And next to the one that's your primary, you'll have an opportunity to put in the word yes. And the system will capture that and show any potential customers that visit your profile. The one that has the word yes next to it is your primary NAICS code. This is the code under which you generate the majority of your revenues. When a sam.gov profile is created, it automatically creates an SBA DSBS profile. It's done automatically. So if I'm a contracting officer conducting market research to find the perfect firm to provide services under the cybersecurity contract, I'm going to look at your SAM profile, and I'm also going to look at your SBA DSBS profile. It's just what I'm going to do. I'm checking you out. Then I might go and look at your website. I might maybe check you out on LinkedIn, but for the most part, officially, I'm going sam.gov and I'm going SBA DSBS. Each profile gives me, as the contracting officer, something different about who you are as a firm. This goes towards my process of selection. So make sure that your SAM profile is active and up to date. You need to renew it once a year, every year. In the all-day session, I actually allow everyone to pretty much kind of, Priscilla, I'm forgetting we're not doing in person. So I keep forgetting. So I'll virtually be going to sam.gov, pulling up profiles and showing you what that looks like and what types of information the contracting officer is going to be looking at. When I would drive to New Jersey from Maryland to teach this class in person, and I would be with you guys all day, I would let every single participant look up their SAM profile. No, if you didn't have one, you didn't have time to create because it takes too many hours to do it in class, but at least to look it up and make sure it was good to go. And one of the biggest things is it needs to be active. So if you do not renew, it will come up, it'll still stay in the system, but it'll come up inactive. If your potential customer sees an inactive SAM profile, they move on. So you must renew every year, and you will receive an automatic email from the system letting you know it's time for you to renew, okay? And then this just goes into, and actually I've got something blocking here. So this is pretty much your NAICS codes list. So this is, I've given you a link. Here we go again with that NAICS code link. And I'm going to keep giving it to you because you need to know where to find these. So you can either look them up and get a very detailed description off the census.gov website, or there's also a PDF here that I did find. The last time it was updated, I believe, well, they posted this was in 2019. So this is the most recent list of all the codes. Take a look at those codes. When you're out there and you're bidding on work, you may also run across FSC codes and PSC codes. So sometimes contracts have a NAICS code designation. It'll also give you the FSC code as well as the PSC code, all right? So the last two are just more as an FYI, just letting you know that those two other types of codes do exist. All right, and you know me, knowledge is power. So I'm all about, let's say you wanna check out some of the things that I said today or everything that I said today. You can always find this information in Federal Acquisition Regulations, which is FAR. So all of the programs that we went through today, you'll find in FAR Part 19. So FAR is thousands and thousands of pages deep. So what I've done is I've just pulled out certain parts of the FAR that I think that you as a small business will probably run across more often than not. All right, so you could just kind of, you know, go to these should be hyperlinks. So when you get the PowerPoint, you should be able to select right on it and it should redirect you. Otherwise, you can go to acquisition.gov using this link and see all of the FAR regulations. Then I've also provided for you GSA's regulations because they are separate from SBA's small business programs, as well as the DFARS. All right, knowledge is power. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.